Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And today I am going to be creating a card or two with two new stamp sets. One is Hearts and Hugs, and you have seen me make a card with that before if you've been following along. If not, go back in my playlists and you can see that one. I did a card featuring this little chipmunk guy, not chipmunk, hamster. This is my first time playing with Happy Little Things, which is a set from it's an online exclusive, and it's a photopolymer set with these great sentiments, including a solid and an outline. And yeah, I've thought of a card to make that mashes both of these up together. So let's get going. So what I decided I wanted to do, I'm going to show you, this is my first go at it, and we are going to keep working on this. It's an ombre effect, and it is made with three complementary colors, I suppose they are, shades of the same aqua blue, let's say. So this is Summer Splash, Coastal Cabana, and Pool Party. And these are, the first three are full strength, and the second three are the same order, just stamped off once. And this used to be something that I would do on our Stamparatus. I still have Stamparatus, and I could pull it out. That step stamping would be perfect, but since that's not available anymore, I thought we need to come up with a way to do that same effect for those of us who are not so good at eyeballing, that will help us make what we want. So I measured out, and I have this ruler. I like it with that it's got a T-bar, so I can make sure it's really square. And what I did was I made center marks for where I wanted to stamp. For me, I'm working in centimeters, so basically starting at 1 centimeter, I did every 2 centimeters. But the last one would have been all the way down there. So so you can see I left a blank there. We're not going all the way down. Hello, Gladys and Roseanne. Thanks for joining me. And then I also made little tick marks, 1/2 centimeter in on each side, just so I could try to keep it centered. This one, they're even. It's not quite centered, but I think in the end it's not good. It's not off by that much, and it's going to be just fine. If you use really light pencil marks and you have one of these really good plastic erasers, there's a number of brands. Pentel makes one. This one is Staedtler. Do not use the eraser that comes on the end of your pencil. It is crap. Use a really good eraser, and you can see they're all gone. You can't see them on this one. So we are going to do some stamping here with this. Now I started with dark and went light, and I wondered how it would work if we started dark and went light up to the top. So I think I'm going to try that. And I'm also going to try, since I know where I want these things, let me just show you something. When I made my first one, I went ahead and I stamped full strength, cleaned it off, full strength, cleaned it off, full strength, cleaned it off. And then I stamped off onto some scrap paper. This time, I think what I want to do is try stamping, and then do my second generation right away. And the risk with that is that it's not actually going to have enough ink left on it. but we're going to give it a try and see how it goes. This is called Living and Learning, all in one go. So this is my stamp. It is photopolymer. I did wipe it down before I used it the first time. But I didn't treat it like with Versamark or yellow ink or anything like that. So we'll see how we go. I've got these in order now. And I'm starting with my darkest one. I should technically start with my lightest one so I don't have to rinse it off or anything, but here we go. And then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's not going to be enough ink on here. I'm pretty darn sure. I'm going to bring in my scrap paper because when I stamp here, I hold it for a minute so that it absorbs lots of ink. Here, I'm just going to stamp off a little bit. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Lots of ink. We'll just see how we go. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Mom. We'll get this one here. I've explained I'm doing an ombre sentiment effect. I've marked my paper with little pencil ticks so I know where I'm placing things, hopefully. Hopefully they're straight. Oh, that C didn't fully fill in. Oh well, it'll be what it'll be. So, there is that stamping. I'm going to close my stamp pads. I'm using Summer Splash, which is one of the brand new in colors. That's this one. And Coastal Cabana and Pool Party. So kind of tones of the same color, shades of the same color. And with my mat, and now I'm going to erase my pencil marks. And they just go right away. Again, good quality eraser, takes it right off. Even if you stamped over it, it'll come right off. It's pretty amazing. There we go. Okay, so there's that one, and here's this one. I'm going to show you. I did them reverse order. I did dark to light, and I did light to dark. And we're going to make the 2 cards. Oh, sorry, I have a sneeze. I think just 2. There we go. And I'm going to bring in the 2 walruses. I think they're pretty cute. And I'm going to stamp them. Now, I know I've mentioned this before, but if you're just joining me, I have taken our uninked pad that is sold with the Craft White ink and just inked it up with Memento so that I have a foam ink pad with Memento, and I think that makes a nicer inking experience than the felt pad that Memento usually comes in. So both work great. I'm really liking this option. Thank you, Gladys. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a little coloring with my Smoky Slate Stampin' Blends. And I'm gonna go all over. So how many of you are taking full advantage of the free shipping? Well, for us, it was yesterday. For those of you in the States, it's still going on a few more hours. I went through all of my Stampin' Blends and figured out which ones had need of replacement. Went through all my cardstock. Stocked up. Just getting a base coat down there. These tend to work a little bit better if it's still kind of wet. So I'm gonna come in and do a little bit of shading and then some more blending. Figure out exactly where here. It is a beautifully sunny morning here. We've had several days of just intense clouds and showers and drizzle, and on Sunday we took some visitors from the US to a local winemaking area, which is a lot of fun. Would have been nice if it weren't quite so gray, misty, rainy, but I suppose that kept the crowds down, which was a good thing. Yeah, shipping costs are expensive. But we had a good time. I was designated driver, drove a little rental up there. It was fun. And the other exciting thing is Nick's new assistant's dog is in her house. And they are learning each other and the rules for each other and the space, and it's going to be a couple weeks of adjustment, but it's definitely a good thing. And he is so cute. I know that maybe you guys can't see so much detail on here when I go back and I add the different layers of the color. I'm going to try to lift it up here for you so you can see maybe a bit more. And what am I going to do with these? So for the tusks, this is Crumb Cake Light. And sorry, I didn't think through my palette 100% here. This is Petal Pink Light. And dark. And I'm going to bring in my color lifter, and I'm going to do just a little bit down those tusks. And then a bit on the body. And I'm going to let that process for a little bit while I do the same thing on this one. So, same routine. What breed is her new dog? Her dog is an Australian Shepherd, and I'm not up on all the terms for the coloring, but he's mostly black with some white and tan as well, and he's got a really cute smile, and he seems to really like her. And yeah, so it's interesting, the first week that she's got him, he is either with her loose in the apartment or in his crate, or they are taking a walk. They've got a route A, that that's the only place they can go right now. And it's basically around the block that her apartment building is on. And that's so that all instruction, all stimulation comes from her, and there is there's nothing new and exciting even outside the apartment. It becomes very boring very quickly, and that's to sort of make them bond quite quickly, or make him bond to her quite quickly, I suppose, is really the key point there. So that's interesting. It's different from the last dog she had, a different process. Although there was a lot of tethered concept with the last one too, so it's all good. She'll figure out. And what else do we know? I'm certainly hoping that with the dog in place, there'll be fewer crises that need me to run into her and take her stuff. She'll be able to go out and do her own errands more easily again, which will be a good thing. For all of us. She is so tired of not being able to be out about doing her thing. So, we are all ready for this. Every single one of us. Okay, let's get a little color in these. Tusks. Okay, I'm going to bring this one back in and we'll look at it. A little more. See how that goes. One of the things that this color lifter does is it makes it look a little more mottled, which makes it a bit more fur-like, although walruses don't always, I mean, they have fur, but they don't always look fuzzy per se. And I think this one needed a little, the color lifter. And I know I've pointed this out before, but for those who don't know, the color lifter, it really should be a color pusher. You'll see sometimes it actually pushes the color through to the back more than it lifts it and makes it float away somewhere. Okay, so there are those. I think they are in good shape. And then the one I didn't, these are hard to read. Celebrate. There we go. This is the best day ever. And I am going to stamp that there. I'm going to do it a couple times just so I have some choices. Okay, and I am going to cut these out with the coordinating dies. This has dies that cut out the outlines, and they've got extra flowers and stems and hearts and what have you, which I don't think I'm going to use today. I'm going to cut this off camera and I'll be right back. There's one. And two. Okay, so we've got our two walrus couples. And we've got our sentiments. I'm going to bring in, I love my paper snips, but sometimes to do things like this, it's easier to have a longer blade. Sometimes. And sometimes not. This is why I usually do several of them, because I am really not great at this cutting straight thing. There's another one. Okay. We'll see how we go here. let's bring in our pieces again. So actually, yep, let's bring in that and that. So my vision is something like that. That. And now how are we going to mount them up? So I had same concept, 2 different ways. So I made a mat of the Summer Splash glimmer paper. We have a whole pack that's got each of the new in colors in glimmer paper. And because I just need the mat and this stuff is not cheap, I used one of my deckled rectangle dies and I cut out the center. And I will use this for another project. And this will go right like that, and nobody will ever know there's a big hole back behind there. And I thought that could go on a basic white card base. And then I had the same idea to do with silver glimmer. We still have the adhesive back silver and gold glimmer paper. Did the same thing. That's for another project. This time I thought, let's put it on a Summer Splash card base. Like so. So, what do you think? I just need to mount them up. So, to stick onto the glimmer paper, we will need to use either tear and tape or dimensionals, and I think tear and tape is the way to go. So I think I want to keep my popping up for the walruses and sentiment. So if you are having trouble lifting the backing sheet from the tear and tape, you'll see I pushed down that end to make sure the end is really well stuck and is not coming up. If you just don't have the fingernail to pull it up, use the pokey tool on your, take your pick. It'll get right in there and take it up for you. There we go. And I'm going to stand up to hopefully get this as straight as possible. There's that. And then this is the adhesive backed glimmer paper. It said there we go. That should hold down just fine without any adhesive in the middle. Again, getting it as straight as possible, centered and straight. There we go. see how it is to put it on here instead of on the... This is what I usually do. Is put it on the smaller piece instead of on the bigger piece. I just wanted to see how that went with that hole there. Clearly it went fine. So, celebrate the best day ever with a pair of walruses. That could be a fun, quirky wedding card or a birthday card or whatever you think made the best day ever, right? Okay. Again, as straight as we can manage. And this one does not have adhesive on the back of it, so let's try some glue. Just the glitter surface and liquid glue does not work, but this smooth back here will be fine with it. Go. We'll get some dimensionals on the back of our walrus couple. See how this goes. Using the minis here, I think they will just fit. Go. Sticking to me. If you cut these too skinny, then you have to start cutting dimensionals too. But I think I've managed to get it just right here. There we go. Now the question is to embellish or not to embellish. I'm kind of, again, leaning not. These are the 24, 26 in color shimmer dots. And these are the adhesive back sparkle gems. was thinking these silvery ones. I'm just kind of trying to figure out where they would go and how they would look. And yeah, Roseanne, that's what I was thinking too. I don't know. Also kind of thinking to switch them up so that the silver ones go on the yeah, I'm thinking to pass too. That's why I didn't push them down. I find if I just lay them very gently on there, I can lift them off again. I'm going to leave them as is. Let's get those out of here. There we go. I don't know about you, but I'm quite happy with both of those. So, thank you for joining me. If you have any questions or need anything Stampin' Up! Related, if you're in Australia, I will help you out myself. If you are anywhere else in one of our markets, I will hook you up with a demonstrator that I know and respect. Get in touch with me, Nancy at nancysniftynotes.com. Check out my blog and all the other things that I offer, my classes, my retired products that are for sale, all listed at nancysniftynotes.com. And I will see you same time, same place next week. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.